All right, here we go.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. The season 2 of Mandalorian is finally here. We got to see all 8 episodes and I have so many thoughts, so many questions on what's going to happen next and how the story and everything progresses. This is going to be a full spoiler review of season 2, so don't bitch and complain. Spoilers. So now when we go to the first episode, when the Mandalorian starts off in this nice cool planet, which I wish we kind of would have gone a little bit more to. I really liked the look of it. It was this dark, eerie, like with graffiti painted and those animals with red eyes in the background growling. I really liked it. I really liked the setup. But Mandalorian goes of course to the ring to find out more information about the Jedi, because that's his quest, as you know from the last season, that he has to find and bring Baby Yoda back to the Jedi, back to its kind, so he can train and become a Jedi, as we all know. And then he goes to Tatooine, where he finds out the Mandalorians of Tatooine. Now when I first heard that, it's like, are they going to bring Boba back that fast? But I will get to that real soon. And of course he goes to the city, he meets Timothy Olyphant character, which I really like as the sheriff. Him seen wearing the Boba Fett outfit is just like, it was hilarious how it didn't fit him completely. Like, you notice it right away. Like, oh, that's not Boba Fett. And when the Mando sees the sheriff in the armor, it's like, give me it back. So they made a pact to kill the Krayt Dragon, which is destroying their town. But they can't kill it alone, so they have to get the Sand People. Now that makes me very happy, because I love Sand People. Even though they were just briefly in the prequels and briefly in the original trilogy, I love Sand People. I love them. And what was really great to see in this episode is like, we get to see more of the personality of the Sand People. We get to see more how they nature and how they work. You know, and not to be mindless beasts as they were always foreseen. We got to see like kind of the way they speak. We got to see more like how they operate, how they work, and that was really great to see. I really hope we will get more Sand People, because I love them, and I really liked how it progressed more and showed more like it's actually not that difference from each other. But it was actually like, it was actually kind of a repeat of season 1 of episode 2, where basically it's the same episode, where Mando goes to a sand planet. It wasn't Tatooine. Goes to a sand planet, fights a beast in a cage because the Jawas want that one thing, and the Jawas find the pearl at the end, just like the Sand People find with the Krayt Dragon. So I think Jon Favreau, who directed the first episode, kind of went like the easy way and said like, yeah, let me just kind of rehash the episode 2 of season 1. But it was still a fun episode. It was still a great episode. Timothy Olyphant, I really liked his character. I really hope we would have seen him again in this season, but maybe we'll see him in season 3. Because I really liked him. He did really give a great performances. But the biggest thing was, and that I did not expect at all, to see Boba Fett at the end of the first episode. Which, if you see my reaction on it, it's on the channel. I will put the link down below. Like this. That's Boba Fett! 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 I freaked out. Like, I fanned out so hard. I screamed, I yelled. I could not believe that we would get Boba Fett. Because it was the rumors that Boba's back, Boba's back. I was like, ooh, but I thought we were going to get him like episode 8, 9, like at the end or something, or in the middle. But we got him right at the start, which made me very, very happy. Then the second episode, called The Passenger, that's the most boring episode out of the whole season. It is a filler episode. It's not necessary. That episode was really actually kind of disappointing because it didn't add nothing. It was just like a time filler, which I quite don't understand, because if you have already 8 episodes in the season and not 22 like in the animated show or normal sitcom, then you can do all those filler episodes, you know, that like, oh, this episode doesn't go to the plot and anything. But if you have 8 episodes only, I wouldn't really waste an episode for a filler, because you only have a limited amount of it and you really want to put more perspective of it. I mean, the whole episode 2 of season 2 could have been like, I think like the first 15 minutes of it, and then proceed further on. I kind of drag. I do like the frog lady. I kind of like Baby Yoda eating her eggs. Baby Yoda will just eat anything that looks appetizing to him. He will eat a dead spider. He will eat frogs. He will eat eggs. Like, he doesn't care. He like straight sells. Like, if he's hungry, he will eat, so watch out. But like I said, it's more of a filler episode. It wasn't really that interesting. It was kind of like, you know, stuff we already see with Mandalorian. It was kind of, I don't think anybody's really, if you mention season 2, it's like, oh, that episode where they were stranding on that planet. That was cool. It was cool to see the creatures from the original Ralph McCrawley painting. I really like they added that. But I wish they could have made a little bit more exciting episode. Now, episode 3. That was epic. I really like episode 3 to see Bo-Katan in live action version kicking ass. And again, Mando is still on the quest to find more of Mandalorians, and he has to find the Jedi. So that's to basically the whole season. He's just going from place to place to place. But I will get that in a second. But like Bo-Katan, to see Katie Sackhoff, who voiced the character in Clone Wars, who did an amazing job. I love the Clone Wars. But she really did a great job. I mean, nobody else portrayed Bo-Katan than her, so she knows Bo-Katan inside and out. She has great action. The other Mandalorians are there also. That was a really fun, jam-packed episode. Like, it was really thrill riding. It was really great. And I really like how more progressive the characters go. He's not like the exact same like in the Clone Wars, this young hotshot who is a great warrior but kind of hard-headed. But in this one you can see she's more mature, she's more a little bit older, and she's a little bit more wise on everything, and she's trying to regain the Darksaber so she can reclaim Mandalore. Now episode 4 was okay. It was kind of like the same generic episode we would get. It was directed by Carl Weathers, and you know, they go to Din Djarin and they Cara Dune, and Carl Weathers, they have to take up this old Empire base, which was kind of like reminded me of was like episode 4, kind of like a rehash, because they go to the base, they have to try to blow it up and everything. It was a fun episode. It was cool. It was fun to see Baby Yoda in school, just like chilling, and this dude eating those candy, those chocolates, and Baby Yoda's like, "Can I have some?" And he's like, "No." So he just takes it with the Force. He's just like, "Yep, mine now." Anything Baby Yoda does is just really great. But the episode 4 was really good. I really liked it. Again, it's characters we like to see. It was great action. And there's also that cameo from the jeans guy, which they took out, but I have the version which jeans guy will never die. People know who I meant. Like in the left corner you could see dude standing in jeans and a green shirt while they running and blasting stormtroopers. But it also added more. We got more from the Doctor, and we got to see more of the cloning facility. It was actually it was not an old Empire base, it was a cloning facility. So that asked a whole new question, like what are they trying to clone? What are they trying to create? Especially with Baby Yoda's blood, you know, I'm trying to create like the Force Unleashed game, you know, Jedi, Siths, or creature, or maybe Snoke. We never know. There was like a bunch of theories came, but it was an interesting direction I think they turned. Now episode 5, now this is the point where stuff really just shot up in story epicness. Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano was just perfection. She really played Ahsoka really great, from her mannerisms, the way she fights. And yes, I know her things are not as long as in the show, but for stunt purposes they had to make it shorter. They couldn't make it like in Rebels, her tails that she has here as long, because it would interfere. But that's like, you know, I didn't even notice that. I have a reaction, I will put it up, but like because I freaked out a lot. There was a really fantastic episode what Dave Filoni directed. I really liked the whole samurai western look, like he has like Kira Kurosawa. Like you can really tell it has like this slow, cool fight moment. But Ahsoka Tano, to see her, what really helped I think The Mandalorian is to tie this show more with Star Wars and more with the prequels. When they have that scene when Ahsoka talks to Mando about the Jedi and Master Yoda, and they play the song, I was like, oh, you're pulling on my heartstrings right now. For prequel fans, that was a really great moment. But it really helped legitimize, I think, and it really pushed the show in a better direction. Like it made the show, I think, more connected to Star Wars by having her there and explaining the Jedi ways and how it all fell down. Her mentioning that even the greatest Jedi could fall to the dark side, that mention of Anakin. That was a really great scene. Her to really put her in the show was really a great choice. I'm really excited now for the new Ahsoka show we will get. But that episode was really great. We got to see some great action. We got to see some Ahsoka kicking ass with her lightsabers. And she progressed too. And what I most like when they bring back characters, like every character has more, like you can feel like the character is not exactly the same like from the last time when we saw them. You could see that the character has progressed in that time period. So that's why it fits so good in this thing. But then of course Ahsoka tells him he has to go to another place. Which I do think is kind of funny. They send him, you have to go there, you have to go there, you have to go. And then we get to episode 6. The tragedy. And we get Boba Fett back. Of course, they go to this planet where Baby Yoda has to sit on this rock where he feels with the Force. It was very cool to see. But then, the moment we've all been waiting for, Temuera Morrison is back as Boba Fett, and that was just the highlight. I mean, it was directed by Robert Rodriguez, and it was just epic. That episode alone, I think, finally gave Boba Fett the credit that fans have been giving him all this time. Because to be honest, at all this time, Boba Fett didn't do jack shit in the original trilogy. Like, he really did nothing. They always say, oh, Boba Fett is the coolest character. I mean, he looks cool. His armor's cool. I mean, he's cool as he's a bounty hunter, but he didn't do shit except for stand and talk. So that scene alone just like gave him all the credibility. I think a lot of fans, when they had doubt of, you know, how people love Boba Fett, now they will understand. Also get Ming-Na Wen, who from season 1 reappears, and she's now with Boba Fett because he helped save her. I like that Boba Fett and her are now like together and going on missions together, and she helps him. That's a lot of fun. But let's talk about the action, because that Boba Fett, I mean, Temuera Morrison does such a great performance in it as Boba Fett, and the action is so great in this episode. I mean, what Boba Fett does with a gaffer stick from the Sand People, that's just, I think Robert Rodriguez really, there were some shots that were so aggressive and intense, and sometimes like when he takes with one hand, smashes the stormtrooper's hand, and like bits fly out. I was like, or a shot where he just like stabs somebody in anger. I was like, okay, Rodriguez really puts like the limited, like you could really see he tried to make it as brutal as he is allowed to do it. But unfortunately, Disney and Star Wars, there's no real blood. But I think if he would made it his own, there would be blood and guts flying all over the place. But the action was fantastic. The action was really great. And then with the moment when we get Boba Fett back in his armor, there he is right there. The moment we get Boba Fett back in his armor was just so great to see, so amazing to see. It was just heaven. And then we also get the Dark Troopers from Jon Favreau, which is also like Iron Man 2.0, Iron Man Star Wars version, and then of course like Baby Yoda. And then we get to episode 7, which was with Bill Burr, which is a really great episode. They have to go to this old base where they have to and they have to disguise themselves in this transport, which they cannot go fast, otherwise this container that they're carrying will explode, and you have pirates on the back attacking them. They have to go because they have to get the coordinates of Moff Gideon, who was also just like really great in this episode. Bill Burr, he really gives a great performance, but he also gives a lot of points in Star Wars that are really like interesting to hear and see how it will go further in the Star Wars universe. Like he says, you are born in one place, you believe all that. You're born in a different place, you believe all that. Who's really evil? That was a great scene. And of course, Mandalorian being in a different suit and not his armor and taking off his helmet was really hilarious. But the best scene was when this officer sees them and offers them a drink, and then Bill Burr mentions the story about this one battle where they lost a whole platoon and a lot of people. And that moment is just it's so well directed. Like that, I think episode 7 is the best directed episode out of the whole season, because the direction is really so great, and that scene is so intense where Bill Burr gives such a great performance where you don't know what he's going to do. They can clearly tell he's holding every bit in himself to not do something because they're on a mission, and this officer is just like getting in on it, and it's just, it was such a great scene. And when he kills him, then it was amazing. Then that was a really great episode. But then later, what I did not think would happen even more is that when Boba Fett, they escape to Boba Fett's ship, of course, and then when we get to see Boba Fett shooting a seismic charge from episode 2, a great, amazing callback, and destroy TIE fighters. Now, real quick, Attack of the Clones is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and seeing that movie as a kid really made me fall in love with Star Wars and everything. And to see the seismic charge, which is one of my favorite Star Wars sound effects, bombs, you name it, it's one of the best sound effects ever. This quiet, and it was just like, that was heaven on earth for me to see that they brought that back, and it was just amazing. Now the final episode, the rescue, and of course we get Moff Gideon, but like he's like, you know, here and there, he doesn't do much, he just kind of talks and says, good. But Giancarlo Esposito gives such an amazing performance as Moff Gideon. He's so charming, he's such a likable villain, like he has such a charm to it, which just really makes him great. And he has some really great moments in episode 8. And episode 8 was just the best episode I've seen in Star Wars for a long while. It was the most Star Wars-y Star Wars episode ever, if you could follow what I'm just saying. We get a great episode. We get Bo-Katan, we get Boba, we get Cara, we get all of them except Ahsoka Tano, which I wish we would have seen in this episode. We get all of them trying to rescue Baby Yoda. It was just amazing, and Carl Esposito is just amazing. Just like this, him, Moff Gideon is so great. The way he delivers dialogue, and his fight with Mando was just great. To finally get to see him use this damn Darksaber. He keeps showing it, like, and now he finally gets to use it. It was really a great fight. We got some great action. We got some really great scenes with them taking out the ships. But the biggest thing is that, which I did not think would have been possible, we would have even get. This is the type of thing that would fans talk about. It's like, yo, imagine if this character come back, or imagine if Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon would show up in The Mandalorian. Like, us fans, we always like, you know, fan theories, we always make theories and dream, oh, this would be cool. But when Grogu sat on this stone, because he was trying to call out any remaining Jedi throughout the Force, and then we have this great scenes where they're in the main hall, within this one room, you know, blast doors behind them, we got dark troopers, like every second they're about to break in. And then we get to see this one X-Wing flying by. And first I thought, like, oh, the New Republic is here, cool. But then no, it's just one, and it lands. And then we see a cloaked figure, and I was just like, that's Luke Skywalker! We had Luke Skywalker, and then we see a lightsaber going off, and then we saw it's green, and I was like, that's Luke Skywalker.
Are you a Jedi? I am.
And all I can say is, that's how you do Star Wars. And they got Mark Hamill back as Luke Skywalker. That's just, I was tearing up when I was watching it, because it was such a huge surprise. And to see the CGI, yes, it was CGI on his face, but I would say it was really, really good. Like, if you look at the comparison, like him from Return of the Jedi and him in The Mandalorian, The CGI is really great. There are 1-2 shots where you can maybe tell it looks a tiny bit off, but other than that, looks great. I can barely tell the difference. And what I also like, it doesn't look exactly like Luke from Return of the Jedi. It looks like Luke, you know, 6-7 years later on. So he looks a little bit older. That's what I really like. But to have Mark Hamill back, I can really understand Mark Hamill, you know, being happy to portray Luke Skywalker the right way, I would say, because like he said from the beginning on, he didn't like the version he had to play in the sequel trilogy. And I know he knows Dave and he trusts John, so I think he was, when they finally told him, like, this is what we want to do and we want you to play this, you know, the true Luke that we all grew up loving. And you can really tell that's Luke Skywalker. From the whole sequel trilogy, that's, like I always say, it's Jake Skywalker. In those 2 minutes of a scene that we got with Mark Hamill back as Luke Skywalker, de-aged, that was Luke Skywalker. It had the mannerism, it had the behavior, it had the, you could really see, we get this amazing epic scene with Luke Skywalker killing off all the Dark Trooper robots with a lightsaber. We recreated the scene from Rogue One with Vader going down the hall, and it's the same with him, but with Luke. It was great poetry there, like, you know, the rhyme itself. But that was really, really great. We got some great, amazing action, the type of action we always dreamed of seeing more with Luke Skywalker. And now, of course, at the end, he does take, there's this emotional scene, like, really where Mando and Grogu kind of say goodbye because he goes now off with Luke and he takes off his helmet. It was just like, ah, that was really, and he didn't want to go. That episode was really emotional, but it was really great to see Luke Skywalker back, the way fans, the correct way he was portrayed, and I'm just ecstatic. I really hope to see him more. And we got to see R2, the R2-D2. Oh my god, that was the biggest. That was my point I hated the most about the sequels. R2-D2 didn't do shit. He stand in the back of the corner. His maximum screen time is 3 fucking minutes. The droid who saved everybody countless millions of times. We got to see R2-D2 be R2, be happy and everything, him and Baby Yoda, and then of course they end up going outside, and that's the end of the episode. Now, for the full, as a recap, how I talked about episode. Well, the show is good. The show has great characters. It really fits. Dave Filoni really knows Star Wars, and Jon Favreau, like, that's how you do Star Wars. And it shows, if you put people who really know how this universe works and how it portrays, and respect the rules that are set up, then it really becomes great. Because that was kind of what the sequels didn't do. But that's a video on a whole different topic. But as far as The Mandalorian goes, The Mandalorian is a great character. It has great characters. You really can see that him and Baby Yoda are more connected, are more, you know, like a father and son, which is great. All the characters are great. The characters are great, but I feel like they kind of not always, as far as negatives go, I feel like they don't always know what to do with Mandalorian, what to do with him. So that's why they always send him on a quest. He should find a Jedi. But it's kind of like, yes, you have to find a Jedi, but hey, but you also have to find this. Hey, help us here. I kind of feel like they never know where exactly to go with Mandalorian. With Baby Yoda, yes, they know what to do with his character. But I really hope now with Baby Yoda being away with Luke, that in season 3 of Mandalorian, that we will get more Mando-focused stories. You know, like, okay, this time in season 3 he will do this, this, and this, and this. Because I feel like kind of they never know where to go or what to do. So it's like we said, we have the first episode, which is kind of like a rehash of the episode 2 from season 1. Episode 4 is a rehash kind of episode 4 of them going to the base with the troopers. So it has a lot of similarities, but like, the characters are still great, but you still have this notion of like, sometimes they don't know where to go with the story. And that's what's noticeable, you know. It's like, that was like the only down parts of it, I must really say. Other than that, this is really great. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 for a season, because this has great characters, has great chemistry, great people, Dave Filoni, great direction, great actors. It moves the story forward, and it was just really an amazing season. I can't wait for season 3 to be here. So please bring out and all the new shows that I'm about to see. So let me know what you think about Mandalorian season 2. Were you excited and hyped as hell like I was when I saw it? All I know is the Star Wars fan inside of me. I'm super happy. I'm super hyped for the next season that's about to come out. This is Star Wars done correctly. Seeing Luke back, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Baby Yoda. It's so much happened. It kind of also like the recreation. Like, they kind of was like, hey, Luke's back, Boba back. They brought a lot of characters back. But what I really like, they brought those characters back, but they gave them purpose. They made them feel earned. It's not like, hey, he's back because he's popular. Like, it made sense in the story for that character to be back. And that post-credit scene of Boba Fett at Jabba's palace, and now begin killing off his old henchman and becoming the crime lord king of Tatooine. Cherry on cake. That was really a great ending. And to see the Book of Boba, the new show, I'm excited as hell. But once again, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you. We are in a really great state as Star Wars fans. There's so much great stuff coming out. And this ending, this whole season 2 of Mandalorian was really great. Really fun. It has a few issues like here and there. Like it doesn't always know plot-wise where it want to go or what it really want to do. But it was still a great show. And see you next time.